Welcome to our channel. Are the Blue Jays still a fit for Alonso? January 20th. Are the Blue Jays still a fit for Alonso? The Blue Jays were thrust to the forefront of the Alonso market late last week after the New York Post reported that the Mets were moving on from negotiations after the first baseman rejected their last-ditch offer. However, after Toronto reached a 5-year deal with free agent slugger Anthony Santander on Monday, it's fair to wonder if the Blue Jays are still a fit for Alonso. Santander, who hit 44 homers in 2024, solves Toronto's need for a power bat, making Alonso less of a necessity. Additionally, the Blue Jays might now have less financial flexibility for a potential Alonso pursuit. Although MLB.com Blue Jays beat reporter Keegan Matheson has been told that Toronto does still have room to spend, Santander's deal puts the team over the second competitive balance tax threshold of $261 million, according to estimates from Fangraphs. Crossing over the third threshold, $281 million, which the Blue Jays would undoubtedly need to do to sign Alonso, comes with an even steeper surcharge on all overages. If the Blue Jays are out on Alonso, it could incentivize the 30-year-old to revisit talks with the Mets, who still have an opening at first base and arguably need another big bat to solidify themselves as one of the elite contenders in the National League. January 17th. Have the Mets closed the door on a potential Alonso reunion? Even after landing Juan Soto earlier this offseason, the Mets have kept the door open for a potential reunion with Alonso. However, with the two sides still far apart in their negotiations, the club now considers it the most likely outcome that Alonso will sign elsewhere, reports SNY's Andy Martino. The Mets made another move to bolster their offense on Thursday, reportedly reaching a 1-year deal with outfielder Jesse Winker. Per Martino, the Winker deal was part of the Mets' post-Alonso pivot plan, which was also expected to include signing a reliever. One day after that report, the Mets agreed to a 2-year deal with lefty reliever A.J. Minter, a source told MLB.com's Mark Feinsand. According to a report by Joel Sherman in the New York Post, the Mets made what they perceived as a last-ditch effort to re-sign Alonso by offering a 3-year deal in the neighborhood of $70 million, slightly more than what another slugging first baseman, Christian Walker, received when signing a 3-year, $60 million contract with the Astros earlier this offseason. While there aren't many obvious fits left for Alonso outside of Queens, The Athletic's subscription required Ken Rosenthal and Will Salmon report that at least 2 other clubs are engaged in discussions with the slugger. The Blue Jays are one of those teams. The other is a mystery, though Alonso was recently linked to the Giants and Angels. The Toronto connection is interesting, considering the Blue Jays already have first baseman Vladimir Guerrero Jr., a pending free agent, on their roster. With the two sides reportedly far apart in their contract extension negotiations, Guerrero has been mentioned as a potential trade candidate. However, according to Rosenthal, the club's intention is not to sign Alonso and then trade Guerrero. Rather, the Jays are hoping to add Alonso to the fold to improve their playoff chances in Guerrero's final year under club control.